80-20 rule revisited. When I started my sales career many years ago, someone told me about the 80-20 rule as it applied to sales. Hey, what's up, guys? Damian here with Talkin' VDF, where every week I highlight one of the great, awesome, exciting, fun, profit-making aspects of the Virtual Deal Factory. And this week, I want to talk about VDF blogs. You guys have heard blogs before, you know what a blog is, right? You get to type your ideas and your questions and your thoughts, and not only let people know what's going on with you, but have conversations with other people out there and hear what they're thinking. Now, I want to talk about the power of VDF blogs and what they have to do for you as a real estate investor. But before that, I want to explain why this is so important. Well, you see, first of all, just like this book I'm reading Brian Tracy's Goals, great book here. You know, the reason books are so powerful is because what you can do is, rather than going through every experience yourself, you can learn from someone else's experience. Can I tell you a little secret? I don't have all the answers.
What?
Ooh, here's another little secret. Mark doesn't have all the answers either.
No way.
One last secret. You're not going to have all the answers. You see, that's okay, right? You know, there's certain things you're going to be great at. There's certain things you're going to know a lot about. And there's other things you're not going to be that great at. You're not going to know a lot about. Now, the power of other people is being able to learn from their experiences. That's why books are so great, because maybe you don't know everything about a topic or a situation, but someone else, maybe Brian Tracy, has the answers on that topic. Okay? Another example, this is sort of the concept of masterminding, finding other people who do what you do or want to do what you do or have access to the kind of resources you need, and then asking their opinions. You know, perfect example of a mastermind is when Mark and I, when we first met, sort of the starting stages of the Virtual Deal Factory. He and I connected while he was traveling in Italy with his fiance through Tuscany, and I was with my wife Charlene, and we got together, and literally in a matter of a day and a half together, he shared some great stuff. Something I was never doing. He was like, "Oh, so a lot of my members, they love to prepay memberships. You should offer it. They really like it, and it's great for your business too." And I said, "Wow, that's great." And he gave me that piece of information, and then he handed me off a couple of resources. He told me about one of his buddies, Nate Kennedy, another buddy, Jeremy Blunt, who we now have some great, synergistic relationships with. And I gave him a lot of great stuff too about different, automation of your business and different ways to deal with technology and save money and this and that. And that's masterminding. And in essence, having a blog, when it's done the right way, is the same way of having that opportunity to mastermind, to take 10 different people who may be at the same level, different levels of expertise, and being able to pick their brains and have the best information, the best solutions, the best opportunities pulled together without having to leave your home or even get any more dressed up than I am right now. I should say I didn't even shave for today. Okay, so that's why blogs are so important. It's more than just, hey, I'm just going to type on a screen and make some jokes. No, like, used properly, it is the essence of being able to have a mastermind group. And there are businesses out there that charge, 10 to 15,000 for a mastermind group. And certainly there's a lot more you get with something like that. But at the core, the idea is getting people together who can share best practices, best ideas, so everybody could be more profitable. Now, inside of VDF, you have the opportunity to do that with VDF blogs. So what I want to share with you today about chatting with VDF is I want to talk about, what to do with them, a couple important points, and then how to get started. So first of all, if you want to start your own blog, this is so important. There's 2 rules. Well, there's a lot of different rules. Don't do anything illegal. Don't do anything unethical. Don't threaten the government, anything like that. No, but there's 2 rules. First of all is be specific, okay? If you want to start a discussion, imagine you're at a party, okay, and there's 100 or 500 people, or you're at a conference, right? If you want to talk about something, if you really want to get to a solution on something, you want to make sure that you're specific. You just don't want to say, hey, who wants to talk about making money? Come sit at my table. Because that just applies to everybody. To have something apply to everybody, might as well have it apply to nobody, because it's not specific. So if you're going to start a blog, if you're going to start a discussion, kind of invite everybody over to your table at the party, make sure that it's something specific, like, creative financing, solutions for challenged buyers, or, what are the best ways to structure lease purchase options for whatever, blah, 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 whatever it is. So make sure it's specific. But second rule is also make sure it's not irrelevant. Like, don't just put something up there like, hey, I'm going to start a blog, do you guys think I should shave my beard? It's irrelevant. You care about it, but so what? It's not about you. What makes it great, what makes your table at the party or the conference interesting and one that everybody wants to come to and give back to is that there's something there for everybody. So don't just make it irrelevant. Even something like, hey, I have a deal, I really need help, that kind of stuff, you should be messaging the people who are on your friends list. You should be communicating with them directly. Don't blast your list, don't annoy them, but if you have a couple people, which you should be forming these relationships in VDF, that's what it's there for, you can have go-to people if you have a question like, hey, what are your thoughts on some of these terms, or what are your thoughts on how to creatively finance this deal, whatever, ask them specifically. Don't just post a blog like, hey, this is the blog, Damien Needs Stuff blog. Come spend your time giving me your stuff. Okay, so those are the two rules when you're starting your own blog is be specific, but at the same time, be relevant. Now, what about when you're replying to blogs? Well, let me tell you this. I used to, one of the sites I like, I'm much less so now, but I used to be really big into movies. Used to be a big movie guy. One of my favorite sites was imdb.com, the Internet Movie Database. And I loved it because you can not only find information about actors and directors and producers, but you could see movies and you could see how different people commented on the movies. Now, when you saw that, after a while, you would get used to seeing like certain people always made great reviews of movies. They had good taste, they made intelligent comments, and other people were just complete goofballs. Either they were just useless, they were just sort of regurgitating random words to hear themselves talk on a page, or whatever it is. And very quickly, you start to form opinions of different people you see in a blog. And now that's the same thing that's going to happen to you when you participate in VDF blogs. So you want to make sure that when you're there, you're adding value. I think you guys know I'm a goofball. I like to have fun. I like to make jokes. However, when it comes to VDF blogs, you'd rather be known as the person who has really good insight to real estate investing, has really good questions and thoughts and solutions and ideas, rather than the one who makes all the funny jokes. If you want to make a funny joke, great. But make sure you deliver some good content. And also, make sure you're polite. You wouldn't go, back to that little, I didn't even plan this, but back to that little party scenario, that little convention, if somebody was at the table and somebody was like, oh, hey, come to my table. We're talking about, the best ways to negotiate with a bank. And then 12 people got to the table and then you were in there and you were like, hey, what do you guys think is the cheapest way to rehab a house? Everybody at the table is going to be like, that's just rude. You don't start talking about something else. If I'm in the middle of talking and telling stories about vacation, you don't come in and say, what do you think of President Obama's social reform plan? That has nothing to do with the topic. It's a rude thing. And the same way you want to obey the same etiquette you would in a regular conversation as you would on a blog. So make sure to stick to the topic at hand, stay relevant. That way, people will respect what you say. And again, inside of the Virtual Deal Factory, this is a real place. We've had events and we're going to have more events where you'll be able to meet Virtual Deal Factory members live. Right now, though, remember, it's still real. People see your face, they see your name, they know who you are, the kinds of deals you post, the kind of comments you leave, and they form opinions. And you want them to form an opinion of you that, wow, this is a person I want to know. Even if you're not doing a ton of deals right now, even if you haven't even done your first deal yet, be the person that they look at you and they go, wow, this person, they're going somewhere. This guy, Fred, he's going somewhere. He's got it. He's on the ball. He's making moves. He's pushing forward. He's always got his chin up, and he's always looking to learn more and be better. Be that person. Form that reputation. And again, blogs are a great way to do it. So, where do you find blogs in VDF? This is the easiest part of the whole show today. Just log into your account, and right there you'll see, bing, bing. Right at the top, it says blogs, and you just click on it, and you could search blogs. You can enter in a keyword like I want to search blogs, maybe related to your area, or maybe related to short sales, or contracts, or technology, or the internet, or whatever it is. And you could see different topics, and you can join them and be a part of them there. So, thanks for watching today, Chatting with VDF. Again, my goal is to always, on these Chatting with VDF shows, just continually highlight all the different opportunities and resources that the Virtual Deal Factory has for you to serve you and your real estate investing business. So hope you enjoyed seeing some different ways that blogs can serve you inside the VDF blogs and the right ways to use them to get the best out of them and to be a great, upstanding citizen in the Virtual Deal Factory community. So thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.